everybody, it's Miss Leah from the Laurel County Public Library, and today we are not at the library, we are at Wildcat Harley-Davidson because we are starting a new series of Leah reports where we go around to local businesses, get a behind-the-scenes look, answer some questions that you guys might have about different careers that are available in our community. So like I said a minute ago, we are at Wildcat Harley-Davidson with my friend Chris Minton here. I have a few questions from my friends Zachary and Sarah. So Zachary and Sarah, thank you very much for your questions. So Chris, let me ask you a few things.
Okay.
All right. Zachary and Sarah want to know how the motorcycles are built.
That's a very good question. Of course, the first Harley-Davidson was built in a shed in Milwaukee, Wisconsin 114 years ago in 1903. Two friends got together and decided they wanted to make their own bike. Since then, as the company has got larger, bikes are made in a factory in York, Pennsylvania and Kansas City, Missouri. Bike parts are made in two separate factories in Wisconsin. So it's a big picture that all comes together to make one awesome motorcycle.
Very cool, very cool. And I guess you guys can see the motorcycles behind me. We'll take a closer look at those in a second. This is a really good question. This is something that I've wondered too. How fast do the motorcycles actually go?
Most motorcycles are capable of reaching speeds at well over 100 miles an hour.
Very fast, guys.
Of course, as we all know, common sense tells us you probably don't want to go that fast.
Right, exactly.
But you can go about as fast as you want to go.
Wow, that's pretty fast. All right, how old do you have to be to ride a motorcycle?
That's a good question. To ride a motorcycle in the state of Kentucky, you have to possess a valid Kentucky driver's license. If you're under the age of 21, you have to wear a helmet while riding.
Safety first.
Safety first, absolutely, always safety first. To be a passenger on a motorcycle, there's not really a law, but a rule of thumb kind of says if you're tall enough for your feet to touch the rear foot pegs.
Gotcha. I'll have to test that in a minute and see if my legs are tall enough to reach the foot pegs.
Foot pegs.
Make sure that I'm safe if I do decide to ride a motorcycle.
With a helmet.
With a helmet, exactly. All right, so if you buy a motorcycle and something happens to it, just like, with your vehicle or anything, things can go wrong. Where do you bring your motorcycle to get them worked on?
Your best bet is to take it to the dealership you purchased the motorcycle from. Number one, it covers the work under a warranty. If you're getting an oil change, getting service work, having to get a tire replaced, if you go to the dealership you purchased the motorcycle from, it's covered under warranty and you're having certified technicians work on your motorcycle.
Gotcha.
Our technicians, they all go to a special school just to learn specifically about Harley-Davidsons, which means they know everything about the bikes inside and out. They know how to diagnose the problems of the bikes, and they know the best way to fix the bikes in the least amount of time.
Very neat. So that would be a job that you guys might be interested in. We do have some books at the library about Harley-Davidson motorcycles specifically, but we also have other types of motorcycles that you can learn about. So if this is a career that you would be interested in, maybe you could come by the dealership sometime and find Chris or find one of the other employees here that might be interested in answering some questions. So my last question from Zachary and Sarah, and we sort of touched on this a second ago, is how safe are motorcycles?
Well, that's a good question. Statistically speaking, motorcycles are safer than cars. About 1% of all motorcycles on the road end up in an accident, whereas with vehicles, automobiles, it's about 2%. Now, the downside of that is with just the basic design of a motorcycle, you're much more likely to get seriously injured if you do get in a motorcycle accident, which is where safety comes in. Helmets, riding gear, gloves. With a motorcycle, you have to pay attention to your surroundings a lot more than you would in a vehicle.
Right.
Which is why we stress, again, the proper gear, proper riding training, being aware of what you're capable of doing, always paying attention, always riding at safe speeds, and just being prepared for any situation that could come up unforeseen.
Very good. Very good. Well, guys, I think what we're going to do now is take a look around the dealership and let you guys see some really neat things. So, Chris, walk with me.
All right.
All right, so Chris, we've taken a walk across the dealership. We are over here to look at helmets. I have got my riding jacket on. I'm safe to ride, but we need to be even safer. Let's talk about these.
Let's talk about them.
Let's talk about them.
A few different kinds of helmets. First of all, you mentioned the riding jacket.
Yes.
The trick to that is it keeps your skin protected should you go down. Also, a lot of people think that short sleeves, bare skin helps you stay cooler. That's a myth. You want to keep your skin covered for the sake of moisture staying inside your body, not dehydrating. That also creates a layer of air between the jacket and your skin as well, keeping you cool on the bike, which reduces fatigue, reduces discomfort, which improves safety.
Very good. I didn't know that. So I've learned something new today.
There you go. I actually just remembered to talk about that.
There you go.
About the helmets, you've got a couple different kinds. What you've got there is a half helmet. If you'd like to pop that one on your head.
Let's see.
There.
All right.
There you go. And what I've got here is what's considered a 3/4 helmet.
Yeah.
You've got some buttons that you can put a windshield on. You can leave a windshield off.
Yep.
One thing you always want to look for in a helmet is this DOT sticker. That means that the Department of Transportation considers this a safe helmet.
Okay.
Like this will protect you.
Gotcha.
We also have what they call a full face or modular helmet. Obviously this one comes down past the chin, and then you can raise that up, you can close that, you can raise that.
Neat.
So you've got a few different styles of helmets.
Right.
Like I said earlier, we stress helmets.
Okay.
Just because that's the least thing you can do to protect your brain.
Right. Guys, you've got to keep your brain safe.
You've got to keep your brain
Otherwise,
safe.
I mean, you couldn't come in the library and check out a lot of good books and learn more stuff. So always remember what Chris has said. Wear a helmet. It keeps you safer on a bike. All right, let's walk again, Chris.
Let's walk.
Chris, I want to thank you and Wildcat Harley-Davidson for letting us in for a behind-the-scenes look at what goes on inside a motorcycle dealership. I need to say special thank you to my friends Zachary and Sarah for your excellent questions. Good job, guys. Thank you to Shauna for helping me find this really cool jacket. Thanks again, Chris. So, before we go to the library and learn more about motorcycles and check out some really excellent books, I have one other question.
What's that?
Can I have this bike?
Only if you put the helmet on.
Oh. Okay, guys, remember, safety first. Thanks, Chris. Thank you, Wildcat Harley. See you later. Sorry. Can you do that, Chris? Like, I'm Department of Redundancy Department. Okay. Let's keep
That's
saying
such a classic
safety and helmets.